Good morning, fellow option traders. This is Jeff, and welcome to the Daily Scan for Wednesday, January 21st, 2015. Okay, it is Wednesday, is it not? Yes. Housing market index from yesterday, slightly disappointed, or came up just a tad short, probably within margin of error for expectations, I guess you might say. Housing starts is today, and then tomorrow jobless claims and petroleum status report. That's about it for Thursday, and then Friday week, just two on Friday. So, relatively quiet week. All right, let's take a look at what's going on across the ponds. Over in Asia, we're green across the board, and in Europe, we're mixed without any real big numbers in either direction here, except for maybe the FTSE. All right, and I don't know. I didn't watch State of the Union last night, so I have no idea what happened there. I just had, sort of zero desire, but I did read someplace that the president finally took credit for the economic recovery. I don't know how he can take credit for it, but, or actually how any president can take credit for it. I think, I'm not sure that there is an economic recovery either. The numbers show it, but they're numbers from the government. So, ask, if you look at other numbers, like number of unemployed, number of people that are getting money from the government. Well, I could go on and on. Forget it. Let's just move on here and take a look at what's going on in our futures. Looks like it's going to be down. I like negative delta right now because I'm kind of negative delta. I'm negative on Tesla, which I opened yesterday, and a couple of SPXs, and one in each account. We'll take a peek at those when we get to them. But we're down here. I don't know what that means because lately, if it's red at this time, it turns green during the day. And if it's green at this time, it turns red during the day. So I'm not sure exactly what the futures mean right now. However, I think Netflix knocked it out of the ballpark. Gold is at $12.97. So my GLD, I was just looking at it. It's looking okay for right now. We might take a peek at that later as well. And oil is at $46.79. Looks like it's a tad down from when we looked at it yesterday. The dollar is at 93. And look at this. The euro US dollar dropped below that $1.16. It's now $1.15. 868 or $1.15.7. So, it actually came up a little bit. So both of these changed a little bit overnight, but yesterday during the day they must have had some sort of significant move, I guess you might say, and the VIX is at 1989, down a tad. These other VIX-like measurements here, one is for the Russell and one is for VXD, I believe, is for the Dow. VIX is for the S&P 500. VXN is for the NASDAQ, and RVX is for the Russell. Okay, that being said, let's just get right into the scan because I want to keep this video short. Why? For no particular reason. Only because we really don't have a lot of candidates. So here's Apple. Earnings coming up, sitting on the sidelines. Here's Amazon. Earnings coming up, sitting on the sideline. Boeing. Earnings. Baba. Earnings. BIDU. Probably earnings. They actually... I was watching them yesterday morning and it didn't come through for me, so they're still in a setup mode here. Okay, and that's for a bear call. Chipotle, were they not? I thought they were on my list yesterday. Yes, they were. I had an alert on them. Alert went off, and look what happened. Huge pullback, so I'm taking a pass on them now. So don't really believe what I'm seeing here at this time. And I'm not going to re-alert them because of this red candle. It just kind of scares me a little bit. So we're out. Quiet week. Thanks to earnings season. I could blame that, right? And I'll show you why in a minute here when we take a look at Netflix. Costco. They are in a setup right now. And that's for a bear call. Don't see any earnings coming up for them. Dow, just take a peek at the Dow. It was a weird day yesterday. Okay, peek at gold. My alert went off. We are definitely in the money. So we'll have to, I did take a look at rolling, and there's just too much extrinsic value. Remember I said we're going to take a look at that? There's just too much extrinsic value to make a roll here. We have $3.16 in time value. And that'll start to shrink as it goes deeper in the money. It'll start shrinking faster, I guess you might say. Delta will start climbing up, and when delta gets around 80 or extrinsic gets around very low anyway. See, the other half of the equation is once this goes $3 in the money, because that's what my extrinsic is, then there starts to be a little bit extra risk here. So we're sitting at about $1.20 in the money. So we have to keep an eye on that. Once the amount that it's in the money equals the extrinsic, that's when things start getting a little hairy. So I may have to do something then. So we'll just keep an eye on it. That's all we can do, right? Google, earnings, LinkedIn, probably earnings there too. Not till next week. So we're looking for an entry on LinkedIn. There's still a possible candidate. I would like to see just a little bit more movement on that green line down here on the stochastic. Mini NASDAQ, it's ripe for a bear call, so I'm putting that on the list. Remember, I was going to look at it yesterday and didn't feel real comfortable with it, and I'm sort of glad I didn't. Even though it looked promising at the open, didn't pan out for the rest of the day. Sort of like what the whole market did yesterday. And to tell you the truth, the way that I was thinking is sort of on the sideline, not officially, was doing a bull put on NDX, MNX. So that would have been good, now that I look at my notes. Alright, let's look at Netflix. Take a quick peek. They had their earnings last night, I believe. 44 was the estimate, at $1.35 was the actual. So let's peek at it this morning. Here we are, bid ask of, well, the midpoint's about 403.50, 404 and a quarter. Closed last night at 348.80. So what is that? It's like $55, $56. Expected move was 38, way outside the market move. Huge bounce on this thing this morning. It's going to be really big. Very glad I did not do like an iron condor or something on this thing based on this number. Very glad. Let's stay away from this earnings stuff. Let's go right over to OEX. Okay, fortunately, no earnings on OEX, so we have a potential bear call here. So what's going on my list? All right, Priceline. We was a little side bet on Priceline yesterday, and a bearish direction didn't do it. So it's in setup here, I guess you could say, for a bear call. So it's going on the list. Well, we have quite a few candidates here. Let's keep moving here. Russell Rutt. Also lining up as a candidate. And SPX, we are in. Got in pretty early yesterday morning. I took a bet, and I think it was a good thing at least that I got in sort of early. I think it was pretty high up here, so we're at 10:35 or 20:35, and we're looking slightly down this morning at 2014. I have orders in here for $1. I collected. Let me see here. I collected $2.05 on these yesterday. That was almost a 1-to-1 trade with a $5 spread on $2. So that's actually 3-to-2. I guess you might say that almost 1-to-1, if you know what I mean. And Tesla, got in on that one too. I did not mark it. No, I didn't. Where are we at with Tesla? We're short the 192. So right about 192. So we are just barely out of the money on that. What are we seeing here this morning? Ooh, definitely going to be opening down. I think I have to adjust this order that I have in here at 40 cents. I'm going to change this. I'm going to change it to 20 cents. There. I just changed it. I don't have to worry about that one. If it's going to open down, I'm going to collect a lot of juice today, so I'm going to leave it the way that it is. All right. And last but not least is Visa. Visa has earnings, so that's it for today. 13-minute mark for the main video. Hope you have a good day. A lot of candidates on here. Just to quickly summarize, all bear calls on BIDU, Costco, NDX, MNX, OEX, Priceline, and RUT. Have a great day. Thanks very much for watching, and happy trading.